Hi, I'm Anthony Originello, CEO of the Chartered Professionals in Human Resources for BC and Yukon. We represent more than 8,000 members, and as the organization dedicated to advancing the HR profession through education, advocacy, awareness, professional development, as well as our recognized and impactful CPHR designation, we are proud to be a sponsor of this show. We have been the voice of the HR profession since 1942. Learn more about us at cphrbc.ca.
In this segment of Careers That Matter, I'm joined by Katie Fitzmaurice, the Executive Vice President at Invest Vancouver. Katie, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Well, it's my pleasure. What exactly does it mean, Executive Vice President? What is your job?
Chief Chaos Maker.
No, or solver.
Yeah, chief problem maker, then problem solver. No, I manage a team at Invest Vancouver. Half of my team are sector development leaders. So they own a particular industry, so life sciences, high tech, creative tech, and they are responsible for going into market and helping land companies and then support them as they successfully find their legs here and then grow here. And then I also manage our international marketing team, so how we promote ourselves locally and in market, and then strategic initiatives, so things like Invest Talent, things like how we prepare for the FIFA World Cup, things like preparing for Web Summit. So it's a really, really fun, very dynamic role, and no minute of the day looks the same.
So in total, how many people report to you?
Right now, I'm counting, I've got, let's say 8.
8,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on a day-to-day basis, what does your job look like? And I ask that because, a big part of this program is we want people who are entering the workforce to go, oh, okay, that's an interesting job. Like, what does it actually look like? I get the title, but on a day-to-day basis, what do you do?
Yeah, okay. So hypothetically, in a hypothetical day, I start my day really, really early because I've got early risers on my team. We're often doing business in both Europe and in Asia. So I'll start early with my international marketing team.
When you say early, what's early?
Oh, do you really want to know? So
yeah.
I'll start by like 6:37.
That's a reasonable hour.
That's a reasonable, and I've got kids, so that's part of it too. So I start early so I can get out of my house without having a child grabbing my knee, and I bike to work, get to work early, got some pep in my step, and we'll be reviewing what social media are we going to be putting out that day. Are there any major campaigns happening that week? Do we have any press releases that we're thinking about that we want to be getting out? That'll be probably the first 2 hours of my day, is just trying to maintain that. I'll then have, let's say, a team meeting, and we'll have an all hands on deck meeting with all 8 members of my team. And for there, we'll be looking at what leads do we have in market that are really, really hot? How are we supporting them? Do we have any upcoming missions that we're planning for? Do we have local events that we need to be responding to or thinking about? That will take maybe 1 hour. And then from there, that gives us the setting for the week to operate efficiently and effectively. I might have a couple of meetings with partners. So it might be a meeting with UBC or SFU to go, hey, we've got this client coming in. Can we please take them on a tour? We want to make sure that they get to see and experience everything. And oh, by the way, what is quantum? Like, if we're going to be talking about it, can I have 5 minutes of your time to understand if my pitch is going to work? That type of conversation. And then from there, I might have a couple of meetings to talk about Invest Talent, for example, or prepare for the FIFA World Cup. So it might be looking at how do we get some of our key leaders at an event and execute. So it's very, very dynamic. And it might also involve preparing for my advisory committee, which is all of our 22-member jurisdictions. So genuinely no day looks quite the same. A lot of it is based on looking at data to make sure that we're staying informed with where we're seeing markets headed. And most of my time is just spent on relationships. So how do I make sure that we stay connected across the ecosystem?
Those relationships really are the foundation, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it takes time to build those.
Yeah.
But once you have them, then how important is that in your ability to be able to connect people? Because as you say, we've got this company coming in, can we come and give them a tour of your facility or your school or whatnot? Like, that helps. What you're doing is you're bringing together disparate elements of the community to say, we want to bring more talent and more business, economic activity into the region.
It's not only critical for my day-to-day, but it is vital for my long-term success. No economic developer worth their salt is doing anything in isolation. My team and I need to be acutely attuned to where UBC, SFU, BCIT, Vancouver Community College to where they're spending their time. Kwantlen, if they're leaning into a particular area, if they're innovating in something new, I need to be aware of it and to be clustering around it. Same with our sector associations. If they're seeing growth in an area, I need to know that immediately. If they're seeing things contract, why? How do we stop it? What's going on there? So having those key relationships, not just resting with me as well, but throughout the whole organization, that's critical. And I haven't even touched on the importance of maintaining relationships with our local municipalities, with my provincial counterparts, with my federal counterparts. That could take up this entire conversation, because economic development is a team sport. If you are not a team player here, if you don't understand how to build relationships, to build trust, if you're not strategically aligned to figure out where is this bouncing ball headed and understand what does my economy need right now, you're nowhere.
Wow. So you get started 6:30-ish.
Yeah.
What time in the afternoon or evening do you start to wrap it up?
That's a no comment. No, it's like I would not encourage my team to work the same hours that I'm working. But right now, we've talked about this before, Canada's having a moment. We have to be present to that. There's so much at stake right now for our region to lose if we don't show up for it. So being able to be present, to stay connected with multiple markets, to understand what is Asia seeing in our market? What is attractive for a European firm right now? They are interested in our region, but the region to them is all of Canada. And I know I have incredible colleagues, also competitors in these other jurisdictions with teams bigger than mine, with budgets bigger than mine. So the only way for me to be at all capable in my job is to be really efficient with my time, to work hard, and then to really leverage my partners.
Right. So I know you sidestepped exactly how many hours, but part of the thing I think that people don't realize is that when you move into executive positions, you don't just go, okay, I'm going to turn it on at 9 and off at 5. You can't, because the weight of the responsibility, and as you say, the timelines of jurisdictions around the world, they mean that until you're going to sleep at night, you're probably aware of what's going on, and you might sneak in the occasional email and the evening before heading off to catch a few winks of sleep. But I think that it's worth understanding and appreciating that that's what the job takes. Yeah,
and I think one thing to any listeners that are looking at their career is I'm doing these long hours now, but boy, will it help you if you really buckle up when you're younger in your career and you don't have the same pressures around kids. That's a great time to invest in yourself and set yourself up for success. But in the particular role that I'm in now, what will be interesting is we're working hard on some long-term priorities, but in economic development, you'll have something come in really hot that you have to respond to. So a great example is we had a notification from our friends at the City of Vancouver that they had a really solid lead for this great company called Nutanix. I think I got that call on a Friday. By the Wednesday, we had every single one of our partners at a table with that company lined up. So that weekend was a pretty interesting weekend to make sure that we showed off in a way that would make sure that as they're completing that global search, and it was global, that we ended up emerging as the victor in that search.
Wow. Well, let's go back to, where'd you go to high school?
I grew up in Surrey, so I went to Clayton Heights.
And when you graduated from high school, did you say, I know what I want to do with my life? I want to be the executive vice president at an organization that attracts international investment or to come to Vancouver?
No, I will say.
No, you didn't? That wasn't your dream?
No, but I was a weirdo. At age 5, I knew I wanted to be a public servant. At age 5, that's pretty weird. So I always had that in me. I knew I wanted to go to business school because I had an aunt that I really admired that went to business school. And I spent all of university going, which area of business? I could just not figure it out. It was all so interesting to me and also exciting to me. So I went to a dean and said, I'm interested in law. I'm interested in politics. I just love pure business. What should I do? And at that time, he recommended I focused in organizational strategy and HR. So from there, I ended up getting a job at the Business Council.
Well, hang on. What school did you go
to? University?
Yeah.
UBC.
And then Sauder School of Business?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then from there, Thomas Knight was like, you should work at the Business Council of BC. That will give you exposure to everything. And they were kind enough to just let me stay and network. And then that was where I met, there was kind of 3 women at that time that were coming through all the time. It was Susan Yurkovich, Tamara Vrooman, and Jackie Griffiths, all of whom I lightly stalked. With Jackie, I stalked Jackie for about 6 months and was like, you just simply have to hire me. In my naive state, I thought K-12 bargaining was a really There was for BC PSEA, I thought that was a really good, touchy-feely, like graduate from university. You'll be working in public education, what a chef's kiss, no better use of your skills, not understanding the political environment. So moving into that role, I was just completely, my eyes were blown open about what it takes to be in business, to be in a politically charged environment, to get things done. And then that eventually, through a circuitous route, led me to Metro Vancouver to support more bargaining. And then for Metro Vancouver, when we launched Invest Vancouver, talent is so critical that because of my talent background, they brought me into the economic development team.
So were you actually working at BCBC or was it an internship there?
I started as an intern and they let me stay on for longer. I cannot emphasize enough how nerdy I was and how much I appreciated that under Greg Davignon. And then eventually I found my legs at BCBC.
But then you're rubbing elbows with Jock Finlayson and David Williams and Ken Peacock.
Yeah.
I mean, like these are some great economic minds.
I got to meet presidents. I got to meet prime ministers. It was an incredible, and they would, some of these prime ministers would show up to events early, and as the person setting up for the event, I would be there talking with them. It was a really, really incredible first job out of university.
Did you at any time, especially early on, go, I'm a bit of a, do I deserve to be here? Did you ever have any doubts about your ability to fulfill whatever mandate was coming your way? I
had deep frustration that at times I'd be entering those meetings and people not from BCBC would assume I was support staff and not an active participant in the meeting. So I would get people asking me for a coffee order or trying to giving me a jacket. And I'm like, hey, that's not my role here. I'm trying to lead this meeting. So there was some of that happened, just being a young female entering a very, very male-dominated space at that time. But not imposter syndrome. I think I have that more in this role than I did then. Then I had an insane degree of confidence in myself.
Well, you clearly impressed Jock Finlayson. I mean, I remember when he first told me about you. He said, "Oh yeah, no, you got to watch for her."
Oh.
And so, but I think what's important in the context of this conversation is, talk about building relationships, which we discussed. It's about also delivering. Stepping up, being passionate about the work that you do, being engaged, trying to find new ways, and always pushing for improvement. And clearly you were doing all of those things.
Yeah, I've had this feeling from a very young age that everyone has these different realms of responsibility. Some people, my mom was a physio. Her realm was one-to-one. She would have helped over the course of her career thousands of people. I've always felt that my realm was Metro Vancouver or BC. So that's just the orientation and the perspective I've had. And boy, is there so much opportunity to ensure that BC gets what it deserves.
So you grew up idolizing Tamara Vrooman. Good idol to have. Yep. Wow, this is amazing. And now you're kind of moving in those same circles. It's incredible, company that you're keeping.
Every time I see Tamara Vrooman, I absolutely fangirl over her in the most embarrassing way. I think she's genuinely incredible, and I've had the ability to learn from so many incredibly powerful women. I'm really privileged and grateful for the job that I have just to meet these people, and especially meet international people coming in to get that global perspective. I get to learn so much every day. And it starts, I think, with admitting what you don't know. And then once you've admitted that and you're vulnerable, boy, do you learn so much more.
Well, and the same with Susan Yurkovich. I mean, you're talking about someone who's heading up an international lumber and pulp company. Yeah. And so as you move now into your current role and you talk about those relationships, how much better does it, was the career path that you took that introduced you to them that now allows you to pick up the phone and give them a call when you say, look, I got an opportunity here that we may all benefit from?
Yeah, I have been incredibly lucky. From every organization I've had has had a mentor that has picked me up. I've done none of this alone. In particular, Jackie Griffiths in my current role has invested a lot of time bringing me into meetings way before I should have been in meetings, just to give me that exposure, that mentorship. There's no official program for that. She did not have to do any of that, but to be able to sit in that room and have a greater context and to see what leaders are thinking about before anything hits the news has been an absolute privilege, and it shapes the way that I try to lead and think about how do I build up my team to make sure that we all have that strong that opportunity.
So let's say there's a young person in school in Surrey right now looking at this going, wow, Katie, I want to be like you. Yeah. What have you discovered about yourself? You go, yeah, this was key to me being able to have a career that was progressing and continues to progress and be successful. What do you think it is that you have that is key to your success?
When I'm doing like an endurance race, the two things that I think about are my parents, and I have this little mantra that's just strong like my father, positive like my mother, and I just repeat that, and I just hold that. Whenever things get tough at work, I just hold that. Like I know I'm strong, I know I'm positive. Those two things, if you can just hold on to those two things, you'll be able to work through it. So I think it's just those two things: stay positive, stay strong, and follow your passion.
Well, you did, and you identified it at such a young age. That's amazing. Yeah. Well, thanks for giving us a glimpse into your job and the career path that brought you to it.
Thanks.